What is going on, Leo, and welcome to your August 2020 tarot and astrology forecast. I hope you guys are doing well. So, Leo, we've been through a hell of a time this summer. By the way, if you hear a fan, that's because there's a fan. It's really hot. There's something wrong with our AC, so hopefully it's not too loud for you guys, but it has been a hell of a summer. I have my notes here, and I do want to recap a little bit from what we've already been through, just because I didn't do the sign readings last month. And so it felt weird to just kind of start where we are now. I don't know. But basically, we've been ending some major cycles. We've been going through a lot of very full circle moments, especially when it comes to karmic patterns, karmic cycles, things from the past, old memories, and really kind of finding that balance between resting and escaping everyday life versus facing things on an everyday basis and facing responsibilities and things that we have in our everyday life in an independent but structured, responsible way. We've also been facing a lot of deep healing, a lot of deep maternal and feminine healing on a feminine level, really like healing our feminine energy and any wounds that we've had with our feminine energy. And so that's kind of where we're at now. Saturn had retrograded back into Capricorn, and this is basically causing us to return to our everyday stuff, our everyday shit that we have to deal with. This is causing us to return to our everyday responsibilities, our hard work commitments, the seriousness that comes with our work, our schedules, our health, our daily routines, our service to others, our long-term, sustainable, everyday goals, if that makes sense, and really re-examining our commitments and our relationships and our lives, and also re-examining any habits that we're having or any old habits that we're having, and really kind of just facing the daily world, the daily reality of things. And it's really forced us to have a lot of endurance in these areas because we've been feeling very restricted, I think. I'm a Leo rising, that's why I keep saying we. So, and this video is for Leo, sun, moon, or rising. You could resonate if you're any one of those. So basically, we'll get into the rest of the astrology in a bit, so I do just want to go ahead and start going over our cards. So I did pull some oracle cards. The first card that we have is Winter's End, Regeneration, Rebirth, and Positive Outcomes, which is really cool. So with this card, I really feel like there's some major endings we're going through right now, and I can see it in your tarot cards as well. There is some major endings that are happening. Things that have been around for a very long time could be falling away, could be going away, or we could even be leaving them behind or choosing to leave them behind. And I think for us, there's kind of this sense of like, it's not necessarily what we wanted, and I see that in your cards. You could already be feeling this, or this could be coming in August for you. It's not necessarily like there's something ending that's not necessarily what we had in mind or what we had wanted for the long term or for our future, but we know that we need it because it is the journey or the path to the most growth. And I think we know that at some level. We may not like it, or we may be super scared about it. And I do feel like for Leos, there's a lot of fear right now with Leos. I think there's a lot of like, how is this going to work out? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get up this mountain? It seems like it's impossible. How am I going to deal with this? Like right now, we are literally facing our deepest, darkest fears that we've been running from for so long. And I really feel that for Leos right now during this time. But it is preparing us for this Leo new moon at the end of the month where there's almost like a rebirth. So if you've been kind of fighting with yourself, whether you should stay or go, I think there's a lot of choices and decisions right now that need to be made for Leos. Then I think you'll know what the answer is based on what is going to give you the most growth and what's going to put you back on your throne. And we'll come back to this King of Wands in a little bit because I'm getting a lot off of these cards right now. So we also have Rising Above, Clarity, Freedom, Solution. So this is awesome. You know, what path is going to give you the most freedom? What path is going to not restrict you as much anymore, or make you feel like you're literally in chains, or make you have to depend on something heavily to where you're attached to it. And if that thing that you've depended on for so long, whether it's a person, a job, whatever it may be, that thing that you've had to depend on for so long, it's like almost walking out of your life. But it's almost like by choice. Either if it's another person, it's like their choice, but it's also kind of your choice, because I think you know you needed it. Even though that's not necessarily what you wanted, if that makes sense. So we also have the card of loss, grief, sadness, and resurrection. So this does tell me that, once again, everything I've been saying, you are finding freedom in a certain loss and a certain grief or sadness that you've been trying to escape or fill with things that just haven't worked out for so long, that now it's like forcing you to face whatever this is that you've been running from in order to resurrect yourself. So hopefully that's like, I don't know, I can feel it. It's really intense. So hopefully that's resonating with you guys. Let me know down below if I'm anywhere hitting the mark so far. So let's go ahead and get to your first row of tarot cards. So the first card you guys have, well, the first two cards that came out, which I thought was interesting, was the Two of Cups and the Eight of Cups. So for me, they look more like this. So this to me tells me that you're leaving something behind, even though it's not necessarily what you wanted, since we have the Two of Cups here, and it's kind of also your choice. You're leaving something behind. It kind of feels like on good terms for most of you, or at the very least, you're leaving something behind because you know emotionally that's the journey, that's the path you need to take for your growth. So there's something that you want more of, okay? There's something that it's like, this is good, this has been great, I've learned a lot from this, this has been really healing for me in many ways. This has protected me from facing my own fears and all of that for so long, and I get why it was in my life, and I get all of that. You know, it's good, it's great, it's Gucci, whatever. But there's more. Like, I want something more. There's more out there. There's a higher calling for me out there. There's like something else that I want out there. And for some of you, this may not be your choice, but I do see you parting with something on a good level in some way, like on a positive level, to where it's like a mutual understanding of what needs to happen here. Even if emotionally you're like, this sucks, I'm scared to death, this isn't what I wanted, whatever, but you know, because this Eight of Cups is walking towards this King of Wands. So you know that this is what you need to do. You have a higher calling. There is a throne, a crown that is calling your name. And that could be a certain purpose, a certain meaning that you want to have, a certain status that you want to have, a certain job you want to pursue, a certain business you want to start. Some of you may not even know what it is. For some of you, it may just be, I know that I have more power out there to go and achieve, and I'm not going to achieve it in this position anymore. I have to go on this journey to find my own power, to find my own independence, to be my own boss, and to lay down my own path and my own purpose, if that makes sense. So it's very, very interesting. For some of you, this could definitely be leaving some kind of connection behind, or something along those lines, some kind of emotional distance happening within a connection, where it's like, that's not necessarily what I wanted, but I know it's what I need. And that's the main message I keep getting here for you guys, Leo. It's like, it's not how I saw it playing out. It's going to be hard. Emotionally, I would still like to have that thing, but I also know that I need it. And for some of you, you may not have a choice. For some of you, this may be like, this is not my choice, but I know it's what I need. Like deep down, there's a sense here, there's like a comfort that you're going to find in knowing that this is what you needed. And this is the path that, and you may be seeing all kinds of synchronicities right now, Leo, like, oh my gosh, ever since this has happened, I've been like feeling so much more intuitive, like my energy is different. This is motivating you. Like this is motivating the hell out of you. And we need this right now with Saturn in our 6th house, with this shit show of planets in Capricorn in our 6th house. And with everything coming into Leo, it's like this is finally giving us that push. And even though, like I said, even though it may be a hard push and it may be so fucking scary and so freaking like, it's hard. You're like, I don't have the vision in my head all the way yet, you know? I don't have the vision in my head just yet, but I know that it will form as you keep going, and things will become more and more clear to you. And that is what I see by mid-month in August. So we start off with the 9 of Wands, which did fly out reverse. So I thought this was interesting. The first thing that came to me when I saw this 9 of Wands was there's some kind of wall that's being broken down here. There's something that, once again, it's like because then we also have the Hermit. It's like you're traveling into unknown territory. It's not that it's really unknown, I guess, but you're traveling into territory that you normally stay the fuck away from, if that makes sense. You're traveling, and for me, this is like you're traveling inward. You are on a independent self journey right now. It's like this time period right now, I don't think you guys understand how like important this time period is, not just for you guys, but for everybody. But I feel like the way that this is hitting our charts as Leos is very, very karmic. Like very, very karmic, very, very fated. And it's very important that you pay attention this month, Leo, because whatever happens this month is going to come back around. So what I see here is honestly some kind of karmic debt being paid off. It's like making something right, that it's like rebalancing out the scales in a different way, if that makes sense. Because you've been desperately like guarding something within yourself. You've had these walls up within yourself, and you've been thinking that you needed to rely on this person, place, thing, job, whatever. And this month, it's like those walls are being stripped down so you can see the truth for yourself, and so you can find the truth for yourself. So you can investigate where these patterns and habits are coming from, where these attachments are coming from. And then we have the World, and this card has been coming up like everywhere, literally everywhere. Like I've just been seeing it everywhere. I've been getting it all the time. We did readings for each other in my tarot course over on Patreon, and a lot of us got the World. It's just been insane how much this card is coming up. And that just goes to show us that there are major full circle moments happening here. And once again, rising above, clarity, freedom, solution, resurrection, liberation. When I look at this blue card, for whatever reason, I thought it said liberation on here, but it doesn't. I just realized that. I keep seeing liberation. This is like freedom from something, and you're still gonna have to face the loss of that something, but it's going to make you so much stronger. This is your path to finding your power, to finding your purpose, to finding that motivation that you've so desperately been wanting and needing in your life, Leo. And this World card is telling me that this month things are wrapping up in a huge way. There's going to be so many full circle moments. There's going to be so many moments of clarity, of just seeing how everything led to this moment, and just connecting like a puzzle, like just connecting all the dots. And it's just honestly amazing. You're going to get to see how much you've been protecting yourself and how much you've been holding yourself back at the same time, because you were trying to protect yourself. Whether it was with a relationship, like I said, a job, family, whatever it was, you were using it as a way to allow yourself to feel safe. And that's another big thing here, Leo. You are addressing wounds and needs when it comes to security. Where it comes to where you feel like you've kind of like lost your sense of security within yourself, so you depend on other things to give it to you. And it's like a false sense of security, because when one of those things like breaks down or falls away or goes away, then you're like, whoa, what do I do now? How do I get through this? What am I going to do about this? And it really like shakes up your whole world, because that's what you were depending on for as your need for security. But now things are getting ripped away from your life. Anything that you've been like losing in your life, or that have been falling away in your life, are falling away because you're to find your sense of security and stability within yourself and on your own journey, something that's going to last, like this King of Wands sitting on this cement foundation. Okay, like you are finding something that's going to hold you up steady, that you won't need someone else for a sense of security, because you've already completed that and fulfilled that within yourself. So if for some reason, for some of you guys, this is a relationship, because let's be real, Saturn is involved. And I did tell you guys quite a few times in the beginning of the year when I did my 2020 predictions that Saturn rules our 7th house, especially if you're a Leo rising. It rules our opposite sign of Aquarius. So therefore, there was going to be a lot of make or break moments in relationships for the next few years. Any relationships that will not stand the test of time, or that were not already stable, will start crumbling, falling away, or they'll get fixed. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. So for some of you guys, this could be a relationship. For some of you guys, it could be a job. That's Saturn in the 6th. For some of you guys, it could be an addiction, a toxic habit, a pattern, health stuff, something along those lines. Okay, so the last part of August, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the 9 of Pentacles, we have the 3 of Wands. So I kind of see, for whatever reason, with this Queen of Cups and this 9 of Pentacles, you are kind of trying to integrate your internal emotional needs with your external emotional needs, or physical needs. And kind of what I see here is, once again, something is going to happen for you where you are able to be more independent, where you are able to where you are going after your independence, your power, what it is that you want, what it is that you need, where you are self-fulfilling on so many different levels and healing so many different aspects of yourself. But I do see something happening here sometime this month where, once again, it's like something happens to where it's not necessarily what you wanted, but it may be what you needed, if that makes sense. And I don't know why I was just kind of getting that with this Queen of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. I think because she's facing away. So it's almost like you're going to be emotionally fine, but you may not be able to see it, because we end with the 3 of Wands, you may be looking in a different direction for it, if that makes sense. So keep that in mind. On the bottom of the deck, we do have the 4 of Cups, which once again tells me there's something you're not seeing, right? There's something that you're kind of like, you aren't happy with exactly what you have, or there's something that you've been wanting, but it's coming from a different way. It's coming from a different angle that you may not be able to see right away. But this is definitely about freedom and liberation, Leo. This is definitely about really integrating your internal needs with your physical needs, but also, once again, you know, like it may not be exactly what you wanted. It may be scary as shit, but it's like what you needed, you know? So anyways, let's go ahead and move on to your astrology. So Mars is in our 9th house of Aries. It moved in, I believe, either in July or the end of June. So with Mars and Aries, this is a big deal because we're about to go through this like 6-month long Mars and Aries transit. So for us, we have Aries in the 9th house. We have Capricorn, which is where Mars is going to square, which is going to create tension and a lot of perseverance, patience, and endurance in these two areas of our charts. So we have the 6th house and the 9th house kind of active. And Mars is going to start building to that square by the end of August. So, and it's like in its shadow period. That's why it's very important for you to pay attention to what's happening this month, because it's going to come back around in some way. You're going to see it in a different way eventually. So with Mars in the 9th house, this is giving us a lot of drive and pushing us to take action in places of inspiration, higher education, our opinions, our world beliefs and views, any issues with authorities, kind of institutions, laws, rules, travel, maybe wanting new experiences and new changes in our lives, needing to express your passions, your perspectives, and possibly some kind of teaching or learning. Now, this could also be what's kind of giving us that drive towards, like, I know this isn't what I necessarily wanted, but I know this is what I needed, and giving us this higher perspective. So I will say that about Leo, especially Leo risings with Mars and our 9th house of Aries. No matter what happens through this year, that's a unique thing that we have with this transit, which is going to be a really crazy and hard transit. If you haven't seen my August 2020 all signs video, I would go watch that if you want to learn more about this. But this transit is going to be crazy. It's going to be violent. It's going to be angry, aggressive, and there's going to be a lot of fighting and just all kinds of stuff, especially with political systems, economic systems, the government, people in power, all of that. But on a more personal level, it's going to whatever we go through, whatever challenges that we go through with Mars in our 9th house, we're going to learn something from it. We're going to see it from a higher perspective. We're going to be able to keep going and have the motivation to keep going and make it through it because we're seeing it from a higher, unique perspective and from an possibly even inspiring place as well. So you do want to be careful that you're not like getting into too many debates about your beliefs or opinions, or that you're not like forcing your views or your beliefs on other people, or that you're not, you just want to be careful because Mars can be like aggressive and argumentative. And so when it's in the 9th house of our opinions and our world views, it can be, can be a little crazy. Okay. Especially if you're like doing this with people at work. Or even someone at work might be doing this to you where they're like forcing their beliefs on you or trying to get you to do things by their views and all of that. So, but this is also about not seeing very quick results once Mars starts squaring everything in Capricorn. So we may not be getting things out or expressing things to the world from our work or what we're doing on a day-to-day basis as quickly as we'd like to or as much as we'd like to. There may be some delays, some blockages. If you're in school or you're studying something or doing something where you're learning something new, it might take a little bit more perseverance and endurance. You might come across some delays or some restrictions or something that might take a little bit more time to figure out than you had thought about. But by the end of this, you're going to be a badass in whatever it is. You know what I mean? So that's the good part about this, and you're going to learn so much from it. It's going to be like a personal learning journey full of so much potential and inspiration. So anyways, so yeah, you're going to be really wanting to express your ideas, your views, your experiences, but you may be also feeling very weighted down by your duties of your everyday responsibilities, your belief systems, clashing with other people with different ideas or beliefs or views. So you just want to be careful of that. Another way this could play out is really wanting, with that 12th house Cancer energy still with Mercury and Venus going through it, there may be a huge desire, this is kind of how I've been feeling it, to travel, to just get away, to just be a nomad, to just get the hell away, far away. And but your everyday responsibilities and duties and all of that may be holding you back, and so that may not be like a practical or realistic thing. So it's kind of like this like energy of like, I want to experience new things. I'm really passionate about what I believe and my point of view and my worldview and my beliefs and what I'm learning and what I'm experiencing and all this stuff. But I have to be like, Saturn's like bringing you back. You have to be grounded, practical, realistic. What about your responsibilities? What about your duties? What about, all of these different things? Or there may be consequences, so it's kind of like bringing us back down. So that's what's already going on, and that's going to be happening through the next several months. But on August 3rd, we have an Aquarius full moon. Now this Aquarius full moon is going to be in a T-square with Uranus, okay? So the sun and the moon are going to be opposite each other, squaring to Uranus and Taurus. Now we're also going to have, and by the way, Uranus is in our 10th house at the very top of our chart, so our career, our place in the world, our achievements, our success, our recognition, our reputation, all of those things are ruled by the 10th house, also authority figures and things like that. But Saturn is also going to be opposite Mercury. Saturn's going to be in our 6th, Mercury's going to be in our 12th. So this could be a big kind of decision or conflict within yourself, or a huge even revelation that you have. Or even a relationship with an unexpected, some kind of relationship thing that comes up that has an unexpected outcome. Either way, I kind of see this full moon as like a curveball, where something that we weren't expecting, but yeah, it ends up happening, and it could be something that we didn't necessarily plan for, or that kind of throws a wrench in something, but I do believe that it gets sorted out by the end of the month, whatever it is. This could also be a certain pressure to achieve something different, or to change your direction, to change your path, to change your career. It could be addressing the future of a certain relationship or a commitment in your life, really facing something like, is this going to work? Is this practical? Is this realistic? Have I been, kind of in a delusion this whole time? This could also be needing to break free, possible even break down, where you kind of have like a breakdown over something and need to kind of express yourself. This could also be a test to face reality, or even run away from reality, to address a responsibility or an obstacle in your everyday life with work, your routine, your health, or relationships. This is kind of like a shaky, uncertain culmination point, but one that may kind of throw us in a different direction or show us something that we didn't see before. This is definitely some kind of pressure, possibly, to change your course in a unique and innovative way. And that's how you can kind of work with this Aquarius full moon as well. So on August 1st, we have Mercury moving into our sign. August 4th, we have Mercury moving into our sign. So basically, we're just going to feel a lot more mercurial, maybe talkative, social. We're going to want to express ourselves a lot more through communication, whether that's verbal, written, online. We're going to really we may start having a lot more creative ideas. We're going to just really want to share and learn information. So on August 7th, we are going to have Venus and Cancer. Now this is going to be right behind us, since Cancer is the sign right before ours. So this is going to really bring up a lot of privacy when it comes to our love life, addressing intimacy issues, letting go of material things, maybe wanting a deeper connection, maybe even secrets or things that are hidden in relationships that kind of come to the surface. This could be some kind of ending your old relationship from the past that needs some kind of it needs some kind of maybe amends, or something to be worked out there so you can finally move on. This could also make us a little bit more shy. This is just basically major, deep self-care, healing subconscious wounds, and reflecting on where we are putting our emotional comforts, our emotional attachments, basically, like I was kind of saying before. So on the 15th, Uranus goes retrograde in our 10th house, so we will be re-examining our path, our career, where we may need more freedom, more liberation. And Uranus is going to be retrograde for several months, so this may not be something that just happens right away. This may be something you start thinking about around that time and then making changes accordingly over time. On the 18th, last but not least, the new moon in Leo in our sign, which will be trining Mars in our 9th and also aspecting the nodes in the sky. So definitely very fated karmic new moon in Leo. This is on the 18th. If you have anything around 11 degrees Leo or Aquarius or Taurus or Scorpio, anywhere around there, maybe 5 degrees off, so like 5 degrees, like 11 minus 5 degrees or 11 plus 5 degrees. So we're talking like either 6 degrees Leo or 16 degrees Leo, anywhere between 6 degrees Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio to 16 degrees of those signs. You're going to be feeling that first Aquarius full moon on August 3rd the most. If you have anything for the new moon at the end degrees of Leo, so I would say maybe like the last 8 degrees, so 22 degrees to 29 degrees of Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio, you're going to be feeling this new moon very much so as well. So anyways, so with this new moon making all these really cool aspects, it's also going to be conjunct Mercury. So this is going to be some kind of new path involving either learning, communication, expression, creativity, a new you. This is like a new year, new you, because really this is the start of your year, especially if you are a Leo sun or a Leo rising even in some ways. So you're going through your solar return if you're a Leo sun. But yeah, so this new moon is going to be, I think this is going to illuminate a new path for you. You're going to be able to start seeing your new path very, very clearly. And there's going to be no more confusion. I think at that point, things are going to be very clear. You're going to be feeling more like yourself, but also like a new you. Like a new you is being born right now this month, Leo, and you're tying up loose ends for like the first part of the month until that new you like comes all the way forward, and you start getting a really good idea of who you are now because of this crazy, windy, painful, deep, dark, emotional journey that you've been going through, that you've done a wonderful job at. So we have the 8 of Wands clarifying the 3 of Wands. So like I was saying, a lot of you may be like, I just want to get out of here. I just want to travel. I just want to go. We also have the 6 of Cups that turned over here. So this is definitely new inspiration, new forward movement, new motivation towards something that you love. A new you is being born, one that's not like your past self, but is a new you, like a new version of you that has learned from your past self. So anyways, that is basically what I'm getting for you guys, Leo. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Definitely let me know down below if this resonated at all, what you thought. If you stayed till this point as well, because you're fucking awesome if you did. If you would like to book readings or any kind of services with me, just check out my website. The link is below. I'm actually going to be starting just for limited availability, but I am actually going to be starting one-on-one services with people. I do personal readings right now, but these won't be, I'm not talking about readings, I'm talking about actually working with people one-on-one for healing, awakening, things like that. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely stay tuned. I will have more on my website when that is ready and available. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye.